Before you click away, this build is infinite heavy ammo even when heavy ammo generation is supposed to be disabled. I don't know if that's a bug, but I'm not going to argue. And it works with any and every existing Warlock grenade or buddy build that you might have. So you basically have to do nothing. If that catches your attention, awesome, stick around, because this is insane. But if it doesn't catch your attention, then, well, I'm sorry you don't like fun? Because the amount of heavy ammo that this build generates is criminal. And what I find even more insane is it works with all equipped armor mods including Heavy Ammo Finder and Heavy Ammo Scout, meaning you can generate a crap ton of heavy for yourself and your teammates, which makes it extremely useful in endgame content. I'm talking raids like Pantheon, dungeons, and conquests if you're still planning to guild Conqueror. But anyway, as we all know, with the final update came a crap ton of armor set bonuses, and today's focus is the Last Wish set. But let me break down the build by giving you some Bungie lore. Now this is going to be a bit of a throwback to the hardcore players among you, but do you remember the game before Beyond Light, before sunsetting happened? There used to be a raid mod, well, 3 raid mods, that gave you heavy ammo whenever you got a kill with a grenade. These mods were called armaments. We had Hive Armaments, Taken Armaments, and Fallen Armaments. And these mods were cracked. If you had one or more of these mods, then raids at the time became infinitely easier when used. But Bungie's stance used to be that it was too hard to balance new raids around the abundance of these mods and of heavy ammo. So they nerfed it to only work inside their own raids, and in the end just sunset them anyway. But I guess since new raids aren't coming to Destiny anymore, sad, Bungie said screw it and has just given us Armaments 2.0, thanks to the insane set bonus from the Last Wish armor. With the 2-piece set bonus, you get a 6 or 7 seconds of damage resistance. Yes, that was on purpose. And as far as I'm aware, this will stack with other damage resist options should you decide to go something like Stasis for Frost Armor or Strand for Woven Mail, allowing you to play hella aggressive in basically every piece of content. But the real beauty, as I was saying earlier, is the 4-piece bonus, Taken Armaments. Grenade final blows grant additional heavy ammo progress, and it doesn't just work on Taken. This is every grenade kill. And this progress is about the same per kill as a 200 weapon stat, 100 ammo generation weapon, which is insane. Warlock grenade builds were already overpowered, but now you can still run those builds and generate an insane amount of heavy in the process. Bungie has nerfed the ammo generation on ability builds since Armor 3.0's release, and for good reason, and that is still fairly true across the board. If you don't have the 4-piece armor set bonus, then you can barely generate half a bar of heavy ammo. Whereas with the full set bonus on, you can generate 2 full bricks of heavy ammo. Now I did notice that the size of the ammo brick, and how much ammo it gives you, is still dependent on your weapon stat when you generate that brick of ammo. So having a high weapon stat on top of a high grenade stat is going to be super important to maximize ammo per brick. You can even see in the background gameplay, I never swapped off Thunderlord, only to stun champions, and even in some cases I just burned the champion down instead of swapping. I had that much heavy ammo, it didn't matter. The great thing about this armor set is that it's not just for Warlocks either. Titans and Hunters can grind for it and build into some strong grenade setups if they want to. Hunters, you've got exotics like Shinobu's Vow or Lucky Raspberry, and Titans could focus on a pure solar build with Ashen Wake. I'm not a Hunter or a Titan main, so I don't really know the intricacies and the really niche builds, but I know that they're out there. Warlocks just seem like the natural fit for any grenade focused build. Now I already mentioned that this will work with existing builds, and I wasn't lying. Every single buddy build that you have already created and saved in DIM or saved to your loadouts, every Voidlock Controverse subclass setup you already have can be instantly and easily used with this build. The only thing that changes is the armor set. Your subclass can stay the same, the exotic can stay the same, the artifact that you are using can stay the same, since all Warlock buddies count as grenade kills and scale based on grenade damage. Only thing that needs to change is the legendary armor needs to be 4 pieces of Last Wish armor. Now as for how to grind this, luckily Last Wish is one of the few raids in Destiny's history where you can get any armor piece from every encounter, making it extremely easy to farm. What this means is if you want to rapidly grind Kali to get every piece of Last Wish armor, then it's totally possible to have the grind done in an hour. But for some people, this might not be possible because you either don't have a team or don't want to raid. But you can still get 2 Last Wish drops per character each week without having to do the raid. Simply by putting in the wish to Shuro-Chi and backtracking, or putting in the wish for Morgoth and sword flying across the gap, you can get access to the 2 secret chests, which have a chance to drop Last Wish armor. If this is the approach you want to follow, then I highly recommend looking up a guide on how to get raid chests in Last Wish without raiding. They'll do a far better job of explaining than I could. Now, the artifact that I had the most success with was the Tablet of Ruin. It has a few mods that synergize with void grenades, and you can build it into the artifact if you want to, but what I was interested in were the 2 mods that helped with ammo generation. The first was Gold from Lead, which can give you heavy ammo when you pick up special ammo, which just gives you another way of collecting heavy ammo that you clearly don't need. And it also has Perpetual Destruction, which makes final blows from legendary rocket launchers refund ammo. So both of them tie into the idea of infinite heavy ammo. However, I think a really close contender, depending on the content that you're doing and the loadout that you're running, will be Queen's Foil Sensor. The artifact has solo operative, which is great for any solo content in the game, but it also has Perpetual Destruction, the exact same artifact perk that refunds ammo on rapid rocket launcher kills. Then pair this with Argent Ordnance and Blast Radius for armor charge on rocket kill, along with increased damage for an armor charge. This just creates a perfect loop for generating heavy ammo and then using it, almost for the entire run, just like its primary ammo. It makes the artifacts synergize very nicely, but at the end of the day, so long as you're building into a grenade build in some way, this armor set bonus is going to absolutely break the game. Now, before I leave you to grind the crap out of this armor set, I want to mention just a couple of things. On your helmet, Heavy Ammo Finder and Heavy Ammo Scout actually have an effect on the ammo generation of the build. Heavy Ammo Finder will let you generate way more heavy ammo progress per kill, so this is definitely something I would consider equipping at least 2 of. And at the very least, you should run Heavy Ammo Scout when you can. This will make it so that every time you create a heavy ammo brick, your teammates will also get a brick of heavy. Not only is this good for being an all-round team player, but most Warlock grenade builds end up hogging a ton of kills when played right, so you should at least give some of the crumbs to your teammates, right? Now, the last thing I wanted to mention that I hinted at the start is ammo generation when it's supposedly disabled. For some reason, this armor set was generating ammo in Gambit, which I was under the impression we couldn't do. Meaning grenade kills will drop significantly more heavy ammo all over the place for you and your team if you run the Scout mod, while the enemy will be getting 1 crate of heavy per round. Surely you won't abuse this information, right? So get out there, get this armor set for yourself, have some fun ruining things like Gambit, and have a wonderful rest of your day.